Out here today with the iconic maroon bells behind us, we are going to be running the 4-pass loop. For a full trail guide of the 4-pass loop here in Aspen, you can check the link in the description below. Beautiful morning here at Maroon Lake. Fall is just starting to be in the air. So this is a pretty classic either backpacking or trail running loop. It's about 27 miles with 7,000 to 8,000-ish feet of elevation gain. 4-pass loop name comes from obviously the 4 passes that it goes through. So first up, we're going to go counterclockwise and do Buckskin Pass, ending at West Maroon Pass with Frigid Air, and I forget the 4th one, I'll put it here in between. You can go clockwise as well, but the thought process of doing Buckskin first is to get a lot of the climbing out of the way. It's about 3,000-ish feet. I have Rick here with me today, so it's great to have company and not be doing this solo, and we're looking forward to a great day. So you got North Maroon in front of you behind that tree, and then South Maroon or Maroon Peak to the left in a cloud. We are going up to the right first to Buckskin. Coming up here is Crater Lake, which is a good spot to camp. And then we also are about to pass the turnoff for a Pyramid Peak as well. So lots of options to extend this if you want to torture yourself. All right, so this is your first choice and really only choice of the day, clockwise or counterclockwise. We are heading right up Buckskin first. So this will be a massive climb, about 3,000 feet. Getting it out of the way first, so you're gonna be deleting about half of your elevation gain in the first 6-7 miles, which is great. Gorgeous up here today. So this is actually the trail right here that the Maroon Bells traverse, or standard route of North Maroon Peak ends on. Following this little creek here, now is as good of a time as ever to talk about water on the 4-pass loop. It's pretty abundant. You should have it about every 4, maybe 5 miles or so. Always good to carry a little bit more than you think. We have filters as well. Obviously that's going to be clutch today. As of I think 2019, there's a reservation system to get into the Maroon Bells here. You can do it from the Crested Butte side. It'd be about 33 miles instead of 28. You can do it from the Snowmass trailhead, 38 miles. But the easiest way, if you have someone who can do this for you, would be to drop you off between 6 and 8 a.m. and you don't need any reservation. We do have a reservation today, so I'll link more about that process in the full guide, but it is definitely something to consider. Just about 3 miles in here, everything is well marked. So we're going Buckskin, and right behind Rick, right here, that's Buckskin. Beautiful look at the changing of seasons here. Fall is in the air, winter not far behind it. Almost at the top of Buckskin Pass here. Definitely a tough climb, just about 3,000 feet. There you have it. So once you get to the top of Buckskin, you can see the single trail works you kind of down into here, and then you're going to climb another pass there, But in front of you, you got a pretty dramatic view of Hagerman Peak in here, which is kind of covered by clouds, Snowmass, Capitol, really all of the bells, and Snowmass Lake is kind of settled right in there as well, with Pyramid right in front of you and Maroon Lake down there. Really, really pretty. Now we're actually gonna run, so here we go. Lost my toenails, so I can't lose them again. Oh yeah! Basically lost all the elevation gain that we had gained up Buckskin, working our way kind of over to Snowmass and Snowmass Lake, and pretty good cruiser single trail, just leisurely kind of running, but I'm going to show you right now. It is beautiful.
That is a good spot, man.
Here, I was lying before. There's another trail junction, and you're going to continue straight towards Snowmass Lake. Basically, you're going to end up on the Geneva Lake Trail no matter what. That's where you want to be, so 1973. But we're going to make a quick detour and check out Snowmass Lake because it is really, really pretty, and then get back onto the trail. So it's going to maybe add a little bit of mileage, maybe a little climbing, but I think it's highly worth it. This lake is insanely beautiful. Quite the view, and again, I think it's worth the little side trip. You can see Snowmass, which is not this one. This is Hagerman, which is a Centennial. Snowmass is right in the middle there, and boy, is it pretty here. So our next pass is going to be kind of up in this direction. Back to the trail, leaving beautiful Snowmass Lake behind. Next up is Trail Rider Pass, which is about 12,400 feet. As you're working your way around and up, eventually past Snowmass Lake, just be careful. There's a lot of social trails, and it could be easy to get onto perhaps the Snowmass 14er one, which is not what you want. So make sure you're climbing up away from the lake, and if you're doing that, then you're on the right trail. Can't get enough. Can't stop looking at that lake.
Yeah.
You can see Trail Rider Pass kind of in the middle of the screen right here. That's our next objective. Just about 10 miles into the hike, moving slower than I think both of us maybe wanted to, but we're enjoying it, trying to run the sections we can, but just a lot of climbing, so just trying to keep steady progress. One final look at this fairy tale looking basin. Alright, top of Trail Rider Pass. Very windy, but insanely beautiful. We're gonna work down in here, around, up Frigid Air Pass. Comparing the first two passes, Buckskin was much harder. We're about 11 miles in, 4,700 feet of climbing. That second pass was nice because although we gained about, I don't know, 1,600 feet from the lake, the switchbacks weren't too bad. So there were sections you could actually run. So yeah. This is insanely beautiful. If you're not trail running this, you gotta backpack it. It is just drop dead gorgeous. So we're about 12 miles in here. If you wanted to really suffer, you could go down to Geneva Lake to the right here, but we're gonna take the Cutoff Trail. Oh, that's cold. Essentially, we're working down to the next pass. If you had not taken the bypass trail, you would have been coming up from this way. But as the sign very clearly states, Frigid Air Pass is this way. These views, every corner of this run is just like, that's my head exploding. Check out this little cascade. Pretty cool. I'm just saying this is like, not ugly, but the worst part. And nature's like, oh yeah, here you go. Oh, nice. Oh man, working up Frigid Air Pass. This thing is a steep mofo. Whew. There's no running to be had here. We're basically right behind Maroon Peak, and the day is just perfect. Willows. Frigid Air Pass is right here. You can kind of see the, maybe not, the shadow's tough, but there's some steep switchbacks to get up there. After this climb, there's another one up West Maroon Pass, but it's nowhere near as much elevation as you've had on the previous three. So from a climbing standpoint, you're almost done after this one. Frigid Air Pass, very steep, very steep. Beautiful, but very steep. Top of Frigid Air Pass, number 3 of the 4. To this point, we got about 18 miles, 7,000 feet of climbing, and a lot of wind. So I'm gonna keep it moving here. From Frigid Air Pass, you're gonna drop and kind of cut across and eventually work your way up West Maroon. Nice. Look cool.
Got it all on film.
We are heading up our last pass of the day, West Maroon, and it's about, I think, 700 feet of gain. So I could climb, but look at where we are right now. We went out just maybe a little too fast, but we'll see. We got a lot of downhills to go still. And honestly, we're making good time. So Who cares anyway about our time? None of you. Whoa! Summit of West Maroon Pass. Look at this view. Holy shit. Damn. Baller. That is sick. 21 miles in. We've climbed 7,800 feet. But look at these views behind me. Absolutely stunningly awesome. So from here, you have very little elevation gain, and it's mostly downhill for the last 6.5 or so miles back to Maroon Lake. Yay! Just about 4 miles to go, and yeah, we're working down Maroon Pass, West Maroon Pass, excuse me, to Crater Lake, where we will rejoin the tiny little bit of trail that we're gonna have to repeat to make it kind of a lollipop loop technically. This is definitely pretty runnable. Just be careful on tired legs of all the little roots and rocks that are sticking out. There's reports that say this is like 70% runnable. And maybe that's true if you're a very experienced trail runner. I feel a 55 to 60% probably more likely for most people. But if you can run this whole thing, you know what? Good on you. Good on you, mate. It's just like we're at the point now where our legs are tired and we're trying not to make a stupid mistake. And, you know, from a distance perspective, this is not like an insane day. But I think it's the combination of distance, climbing, and being above like 12,000 for a lot of the day, above 11,000 at least for a lot of the day, that it just all adds up. A very small, and I mean this not because of the GoPro, but because there's absolutely no water in it, Crater Lake in front of us. You can get a look at where we went to start the day, up to the bells, which are starting to be visible behind us here. It's hikes and runs and whatever distances, trails like these that make me want to create a new rating system on the website, because I have 1 to 5 stars right now, but this is like a gem. Like, this is, if you are into trail running or backpacking, like, you come to Colorado to do this. It's that beautiful. And whether you're doing it in the summer where you're getting the wildflowers and probably rained on a lot more, or you wait a couple weeks after we are doing it right now and hit the aspens, I don't think it matters. Like, it's just stunning. A+ views. And it's been a while since I've been up here, I'll admit that, but still, like, it's just absolutely gorgeous. I would say if I had to rank the passes, West Maroon on top had like probably the best views, but the climb up to it was pretty poor. And then Buckskin probably second, and the other two are kind of like fine, but significant drops down view wise. All of them were tough. It's hard for me to like rank the difficulty of each one. Likely whatever one you start with first, because you're picking up so much gain, but each one is very technically challenging and very steep. This is Crater Lake. It's got to get its act together. It's not doing well these days. Looking up towards the bells, and and where we came from, which is kind of in that valley in the center of the screen right now. Unless you count the climb into your car, this is the last climb of the day. There's maybe one tiny other one, but this is really it. And back to Maroon Lake. What an awesome day. All right, marathon finish. Rick coming in. He's gonna break the rope. He's gonna take, I don't know, something. Rick, how do you feel? What a great accomplishment. How are you feeling?
And a beer.
Folks, we all need a beer. Back at Maroon Lake here. Final stats of the day. 27 miles, 8,000 feet of vert. The last couple miles are tough because you can't really run them unless your feet are really used to getting tortured. But overall, an A+ day. Really happy to check that one off the list, and so happy that Rick was able to join me for this one. If you're new to my channel, I do virtual trail guides and some trail runs, working on the portfolio there here in Colorado, and much more. I have the Bell's Traverse, I have Pyramid, I have Snowmass, so check all that out for a full trail guide, free. You can check the website, which is linked in the description below. On behalf of Rick and I, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next adventure. Check out this sweet smorgasbord of dog shit that I have for you guys. Just 3 easy payments of $9.99, shipping not included, and I'll have them over to you. Hit the comments if you want them. I had to film this too. Who? Why? So many questions. So many questions.